boys and girls. Today we're going to practice and learn about adding fractions with like denominators. Alright, so I set us up with two fractions. One has 1/4 and one is 2/4. So the denominators are 4. So since they are the same, all we have to do is add the tops together. But we do have to leave them in fraction format. So that means we're going to have to leave the denominator down there. Alright, so you have 1 plus 2 on top, and that is equal to 3. And that's all there is to it. So 3/4. The only question you have to ask now is 3/4 in lowest terms or the simplest forms it could be? It is, and the reason we know why is because the 3, then the 4 comes after it. And whenever you have two numbers that on a number line would follow each other exactly behind one another, that's when you know you have it in lowest terms. Or perhaps you have 1/23rd, okay? Well, any fraction with a 1 on top is automatically in lowest terms as well. And about the only other thing that you could pretty much for sure say is if you had two prime numbers, for example, 5/7. And even though those aren't in number order like 5, 6, or 6, 7, you do have a prime number for 5 and a prime number for 7. In other words, prime means that only that number times 1 is how you can get it. You can't get it by any other set of factors. Alright, so let's go back to our adding of like denominators. Once we know it's in lowest terms, we're going to circle our final answer. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do 2/3 plus 1/3. Okay, well the bottom number has to be 3, and now I'm going to add the top numbers. Because the two bottom numbers were 3, I can go ahead and do it. 2 plus 1 is 3, so I have 3/3. But didn't we just learn in that one video about what a fraction is? That if you have all the parts, out of all the parts, you have one whole. So 3 out of 3 is another name for one whole. The whole number of parts has all been shaded in or is taken up in this addition equation. Alright, so if I had 3/3, I could also name it one whole. Alright, well let's do another one. Okay, let's do 1/8 plus 3/8. Alright, well, what's the first thing we know? We know it's going to be 8 on the bottom because the denominators stay the same. And we'll have to leave it, the 8 as the denominator, unless we're putting it into lowest terms. Okay, 1 plus 3, well, that equals 4. So, is 4/8 in lowest terms? Well, it doesn't follow each other. It's not like 4/5 or 7/8. It's 4 then 8. So there's numbers in between it like 5, 6, and 7. So that means no, it is not in lowest terms. But here's another thought. Sometimes you have a fraction where the top number can fit into the bottom number so many times equally by multiplying. So how many 4s fit into 8? Or can 4 fit into 8? Yeah, it can. And how many do? 2 of them. So what we're going to do though is since 4 can fit into 8, we're going to divide by 4/4. And the reason I'm dividing by 4/4, well, hey, that's the same thing as one whole. Because you want the answer to be identical to what it was, just in its simplest form or the lowest numbers possible. So if I do divide by 1, then I'm going to get the same answer, because don't we know that if you multiply by 1 or you divide by 1, you'll have the same exact answer that you started with, in other words, the other number. And in this case, it's a fraction. So 4/8 divided by 4/4 is saying, okay, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Because whatever we do to the bottom number, we have to do the top number. So anyhow, okay, you have 8 divided by 4 and it equals 2. 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Okay, it is in lowest terms now because it has a 1 on top and the two numbers follow each other on the number line. So I'm going to circle it as my final answer. Alright, let's try one more and just practice with the showing a reduced or simplest form fraction. Okay, how about 2/6 plus 2/6. And that equals, well, we know it's 6 on the bottom. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. All right, well, is that in lowest terms? They don't follow each other, no, and doesn't start with 1, no. So it isn't in lowest terms. So I'm going to divide by something that they both share. Now up here, when we did 4/8 divided by 4 over 4, it's because the top number 4 fit into the 8. But guess what? Down here, the 4 won't fit into the 6. So I purposely did this because these are both even numbers. So they both would have, if I looked at the factors for each number, they both would have a 2 times something because it's even, so I know there's 2 of so many groups, okay? So 4 divided by 2 over 2 is what I'm going to do. 4/6 divided by 2 over 2 is equal to 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Oh, look, we have our following numbers in a row, 2, then 3. I'll circle it. It's in lowest terms. All right, so that's your basic understanding of adding fractions that have like denominators, the same number on the bottom. All right, I hope you have a great day. The next lesson is going to be about how do I simplify in general. Okay, bye-bye.